Good afternoon. I'll call this meeting of the Woodford County Personnel Committee to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Squire Gentry.
Here.
Squire Carl.
Here.
And Chief Executive K.
Yes, ma'am. We're duly we're duly appointed to meet. So we have some folks who are seeking to give public comment, and they were under the impression that our meeting started at 4:30. As you all are aware, our committee meetings start prior to our fiscal court meetings. This being a personnel committee, it is not the place for a off-agenda item discussion. However, we do have a committee of the whole following this, and the fiscal court could take up a matter of public opinion should we vote to choose to do that at that time prior to the fiscal court meeting as a way to accommodate their schedule, since there's a large group here, which I'm inclined to do. You all think about that as we pursue the matters of our personnel committee, and when we get into the committee of the whole, we will discuss that possibility. So I'd like to open up the agenda and start talking about some items of personnel matters for your consideration. First, let me say that we have opened the maintenance specialist position in the maintenance department. And we did that prior to the budget, and that will be advertised if it has not already been advertised. That will be opened and approved for advertising. The second item is you have a job description draft for the air curtain burn box operator. You all know that in the budget, we approved the air curtain burn box for solid waste and recycling. Director McDaniel has put together a job description. It's a draft that HR Manager Tipton and myself can refine with the approval of the court, but we need to go ahead and approve that job description with pending the final approval of the HR Manager and myself. Is there a motion from the committee to do same? Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Gentry. Open up the floor for any discussions or questions about the job duties or descriptions for the air curtain burn box operator. Anybody have any questions for Sherry? Seeing none, that motion is to send that recommendation to the full court. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. Now that we have a recommended approval of the job duty and descriptions, we need a motion to recommend the advertising and hiring process for that position.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Carl. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries. The next item, the solid waste and recycling has had the position of recycling equipment operator open for some time now. And my understanding, and Director McDaniel, you can confirm this, you went through the normal hiring process for this position.
3 times.
3 times, and you conducted interviews.
3 times.
And you have found a candidate that you've interviewed and that you are recommending to the personnel committee to approve for the hiring for this position.
Correct.
And you all have that resume before you. Madam Director, do you recall the amount of pay and that was listed at?
15 an hour.
15 an hour. So we do not have that individual on the personnel order, but being that we do not, I wanted a recommendation of the personnel committee to accept the recommendation of Director McDaniel for the candidate for the recycling equipment operator position. Motion by Squire Carl,
Second.
second by Squire Gentry. Now I'd like to open up the floor for any discussion or any questions you have for Director McDaniel. Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. I think that's all we have for you, Director McDaniel.
I think so.
You all have before you the 2024-25 salary list. Is there a recommendation for the approval of the full court for the salary list? Squire Carl, you have a motion?
Yes, I do. Yes, I'm sorry, Judge, I'm sitting here looking through it. Yes.
Yeah, you can have some time to look through it if you need to.
Second.
Motion and second to recommend the approval of the salary list. Are there any questions or comments? Anybody have any questions about the salary list? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. And the salary list is recommended to the full fiscal court for approval. The next item is the personnel order that we will take up in full fiscal court, but we need a recommendation. The one thing I will note is that the individual that you all gave me the opportunity to negotiate with for the assistant tax admin and HR assistant position accepted the offer as negotiated. I think that individual will make a great addition to our team and is on the personnel order, I do believe. Yep. So is there a motion to recommend the approval of the personnel order?
Motion.
Motion by
Sorry.
Squire Gentry, second by Squire Carl. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. The next item, so we are still in the executive director search for the Jack Jewett House. We have some candidates that we are working on for interviews, and we'll keep you updated, but that position will not be filled this evening. But we're hoping to have maybe some recommendations to you by our next meeting.
Judge,
Yes,
what I have like this,
you want to turn on your mic? Sorry.
maybe this is the wrong time to ask you what I got on my mind. If it is, you can just tell me. Where Wade's got sick, they got about half of the floor down for outside, and they're afraid somebody's gonna get hurt, so I don't know if anybody called you or not about it, but they was wondering if somebody could come down there and do something or whatever.
Yeah, I will make sure to address that. I know that that project has begun. I haven't heard from anyone, but
Okay.
I'll make sure we can follow up.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that department is stretched really thin at the moment. But we're hoping that hiring of a maintenance specialist.
They're just afraid. They had a bunch of kids down there 2 weeks ago, and they're afraid they had somebody standing there watching, make sure they didn't get into that. So, thank
We'll
you.
make sure that is properly cordoned off and taken care of, but I'll also work on the finalization of the project as well. Thank you, Squire Brown. That is the sum of the Personnel Committee. We will look at some other personnel positions that were in the budget as we proceed into the next fiscal year, including the road department admin position, but that's not on our duty or docket tonight. So does anybody have any questions about any personnel matters, anything else to come before the Personnel Committee? Seeing none, then we will adjourn, and we'll take a brief recess while we convene for the Committee of the Whole. Good afternoon. I'll call this meeting of the Committee of the Whole of the Woodford County Fiscal Court to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Squire Taylor.
Here.
Squire Gentry.
Here.
Squire Warner.
Here.
Squire Carl.
Here.
Squire Downey.
Here.
Squire Blackford. Squire Gill.
Here.
Squire Brown.
So we have our agenda before us, but we have a special opportunity. We have some neighbors from the Milner area and down Lawrenceburg Road that are here to express their concerns about the Rail Explorers. And we've never done this as a committee of the whole. This is a pre-meeting for our court meetings where we go over different items and work on different business items for the county government. We've never done this before, but because you all were told that the meeting was at 4:30, we want to let you have the opportunity to have your voice heard. You're welcome here. We appreciate you coming, but we do have to take a procedural matter to allow, because it's a special meeting, for the public comment to happen in the committee of the whole. So I'd entertain a motion to allow public comment as a suspension of the rules for the purpose of hearing public comment.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Downey. This is not a debatable or discussable motion, therefore up or down votes. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries unanimously. So I'd like to welcome whoever would like to speak first to come to the podium to address the court and the public. If you wouldn't mind to please turn on the mic and let us know who you are.
Hi, my name is Jana Hooten, and I live on Tyrone Pike, and I'm here on behalf of these neighbors and other neighbors as well to talk about the railway cars that go by on the rail tracks. Not only has it caused a lot of noise and disturbance to us and our families, but we also are concerned about the value of our properties. If someone was to put their house up for sale and someone comes to look at it, are they going to want to buy our house because they hear this noise that goes on all day? I have specifically looked at the hours that the railway cars go during the week. It starts at 9 a.m. The last one is supposed to depart at 7 p.m. and end at 9 p.m. But we have people here who have newborn babies, who live within 30 feet of the railway, can't open their blinds at night because people are going by. The noise is causing my own kids to, have trouble going to sleep at night because they're hearing the hollering. I also work from home. I work remotely. And you can hear the cars while I'm on work calls during the day. And I have people asking me like, oh, are you having work done at your house? And that sort of thing. So it's disturbing throughout the day, but more specifically at night for all of us that are trying to enjoy pools or backyards or time with our family. And we can't do it because of the loud noise of people screaming and hollering. On the weekends, the last one departs at 9 p.m. and does not return until 11 p.m. That is extremely late, in my opinion. They're also allowed to take coolers, and we have seen, beer cans in people's hands and different things like that. So there's also a concern for people throwing bottles, off the railway cars onto our properties. Would they potentially break on our driveway, and then we're driving over with our cars, or are we walking our kids up and down the driveway, and will they step on the broken glass? So I think that covers what I had to say, but I appreciate you all listening.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. I'd welcome others the opportunity to speak.
You were just going to share the video or the noise.
And I'll just state for the record that we do have a audio recording of, and you just want to explain the audio recording, and then I'll make sure it's circulated to the fiscal court.
Sure, my name is Kelly Cox, I live on Tyrone Pike, and again, just to reiterate what she said. So from about here with the curtains on, I'll take the audio.
And Mr. Cox, I'm sorry, if you don't mind, come to the podium, just because I think this is important. It's not only to address the court, this is to address the people of Woodford County as well, and that'll put you on the record, everybody can listen to it.
Okay, does the red light mean on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so again, my name is Kelly Cox. I do live at 4020 Tyrone Pike, and I've been asked to speak a little bit about concerns, the nuisance, the safety. People have stopped in the back. Again, my back door is probably from here to that door over there, and people in these rail cars will stop there, get off. You probably wouldn't want people in your backyard doing that either. Because the rail cars are noisy, they are loud, talking, yelling at each other, party atmosphere. My daughter is training horses, and of course they see a horse, they want to yell. Doesn't do good for the horse, and it's a safety issue there. But I don't know if you want me to play that audio or if you want me to send it to you. Either one, it takes about maybe 15 seconds to listen to it.
We can try to play it through the speaker and see if it'll pick it up.
Okay. So there's one car. Here comes another one. And like the lady said, that's 11 o'clock at night, and people are, talking very loudly, screaming. Anyways, you probably wouldn't want this in your backyard. Again, house prices are going to probably fall because of that. Property evaluations, that doesn't do anybody any good. So thank you all very much for allowing me to voice concerns. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. County Attorney, sir.
Sir, just for the record, and again, the way this is structured, this isn't really for the magistrates to engage in discussion and debate, but just for the record to clarify, you recorded that situated where in relation to the track?
I was standing at the fence, about 10 feet away from the fence, my property fence with the railroad company, and then the tracks are probably from here to that curtain from there.
And so what we heard is effectively what you heard from that distance?
What I would be hearing standing in my backyard.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that was understood.
We don't keep the windows open anymore because the TV is coming, or you're watching TV, you got to turn the TV up and down based off of, and that was just listening to 2 cars come by. There'll be 5 cars, 6 cars, 8 cars coming by at one time, again, all hours of the day and night.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm Don Royce, and the only thing I add to what he said, sometimes 25 cars. And they've covered it pretty good. The only other thing I'd like to say, I'd like to tell everybody here that Woodford County does have a nuisance law that deals with noise. And it's for county only, the way I read it on the computer. You can look it up on the computer and just ask it for Woodford County nuisance law. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Rice. Other folks want to share, expound?
I have video of the
Do you
car.
mind to let us know who you are? Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
you're good.
Allie Richardson. I live at 4620 Tyrone Pike.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson.
Thank you. So I have video of the carts going past my house at 10:05 on Friday this past week and Saturday after 10:30. And I have a 6-month-old child. So, to me, I think the carts are great for tourism. I think that it's awesome for our county. However, I think that the hours definitely should be restricted for the people who live around the tracks who have to listen to them constantly. I should have gotten my baby screaming for dramatic effect, but it is pretty loud. My bedroom window is about 10 yards, or how?
No more than 40 feet from the tracks. That's where this video was taken.
Sorry, I'm shaky. I didn't know I was getting put on the stand.
They
Soon as
really
I got
did throw
in
you
here.
in there, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, gosh, guys, thank you. I don't know, can you hear it? My volume's all the way on. Yeah, it's all the way up. Okay, well this is at 10:06. I don't know why you can't hear it. I got my volume all the way on. Yeah, it's like a clink clank noise. And there were about 20 of, I don't know, maybe 10 of them that went by the second night. I'm not exactly sure. Could you hear them that time? Okay. Is that, you guys need anything else from me?
No, you're good. You really got put on the spot there. What I'll say is if anybody has any videos or audio or any other thing they'd like to share for the full courts for us to understand, you can email me at judgek@woodfordcountyky.gov. All of our emails are on our website, woodfordcounty.ky.gov. We have the Facebook accounts. You can message them there if it's easier to send it through Messenger to the Woodford County, Kentucky Facebook page. But you can submit that. Anything that I get, for example, like Kevin's video that he shared, Mr. Cummins' video, we circulated that. Looked like that had been more circulated in the community as well. But we will make sure that all magistrates receive the video and audio and any other written comments, statements, anything that you all want to share with the court. So I'd open up the floor for any additional discussion. Yes, sir.
My name is Dale Dracomere, and I also live off the Tyrone Pike. And I guess what we're really talking about here is quality of life. And as taxpayers, we know that you all have a responsibility of looking after the county, making sure everything is provided for. And we also know that a county is one of the things they need to do is make money to pay for the bills and find different ways of doing that. But we're also asking that you look after our quality of life. And that's really what we're talking about. And recordings that we hear today, no matter how good or how bad they may be, do not justify what goes on. Now, if you all want a road trip and come out and see us sometime and sit there and have a cup of coffee or some iced tea or a bowl of ice cream while they go by and hear the noise for yourself, just let me know. We'll be happy to make that arrangement for you so you can experience it yourself. And we'll be happy to share the misery. But again, we're talking about the quality of life, and we're counting on you to help preserve that for us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Other individuals would like to make a comment or statement as part of this? Anybody else? You're more than welcome.
My kids want me to speak. The swimming pool is about 60 foot from the railroad tracks, which is, we got 2 openings in the trees and the bushes that they can see in, and that is one of them, that and our back porch. so. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Cummins. Other questions or comments, or public comments? Anyone else?
I would like to say something else
Yes.
too. Not only are the carts themselves loud, but the people who ride them are typically pretty loud as well. They try to speak over the noise of the tracks, and it ends up being yelling. And so you can hear screaming pretty much, especially after dark. You just hear kind of screaming throughout the night on the tracks as well. And they are also able to stop the carts, and it looks straight down into my backyard. So they are able to stop and look right into my back door, basically, which is another concern for privacy as well, that I would like to be addressed.
Thank you. Other comments?
Judge, I will say some of their language is pretty rough, too.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Anybody else? Yes, young lady. As far as I'm concerned, you are.
Hi, I'm Avery Cummins, and I live on Tyrone Pike, and I can never go to my backyard and play with my dogs or play in the pool because I constantly hear yelling, "Are you having fun?" and just screaming at us, and I constantly see Pepsi cans, Mountain Dew cans, and then I see my dogs carry them from the fence, like where the fence is, and then the railroad, which is like at least 10 feet apart. So I always see them carrying Pepsi cans, trash, and we never go up there, so it's definitely not ours, and it's kind of hard to keep that clean, and it's just very hard to deal with that, so.
Well, thank you, Ms. Cummins. We appreciate you. You're very brave. Other questions, or other comments, public comment? Anybody additional wishing to, can anybody top that? Well, we're receptive, and you're obviously welcome to hear, for us to hear your concerns, listen to your concerns. Anybody else? Anybody else? I want to make sure you have the opportunity if you wish to speak. If that's it, if that's the final person speaking, then we will. This public comment is live streamed on our Facebook page. You can share that as part of anything that you all would like to see or watch back. If you have any additional comments about this, you can make them directly to myself. Call, email, write a letter, in any way that you would prefer to communicate, and it will be disseminated throughout the fiscal court. We appreciate you all being here tonight. We appreciate you sharing your concerns, and we understand that this is a big issue in your neighborhood and in your part of the county. And so, Mr. County Attorney, would you have anything additional before we close out public comment?
No, Judge. I think many of those in attendance have been following what's occurring in the Versailles City Council with regard to a zone change. And I think, as you and I discussed, the judge and I pre-meet before every fiscal court meeting, and we discuss this matter. One of the points that needs to be made, because I think some people are wondering why isn't the county chiming in on that. That is county park property. The line isn't, but the where everyone is situated is in the Woodford County Park, which is public property. But the city of Versailles annexed that park property. So anytime there is a request for a map amendment to change what the land can be utilized for, it goes from the Planning Commission to the governing body. And in this case, the governing body for the map amendment is the Versailles City Council. That is why that's been happening down the street and not in here. We next meet on July 9th, and we know what the result of that will be by then. And the judge has conducted this meeting in the proper fashion in that this was not an agenda item. We operate under Robert's Rules of Order when we have these meetings. This can become an agenda item, and likely, when we meet on July 9th, we'll have a better understanding of where things are. So I just wanted to make sure everyone understood the time frame here, why the city of Versailles is involved, and then what the county's role will be subsequent to that.
Thank you, Mr. County Attorney.
Thank you, Judge.
This will be, I'll just, going once for public comment, final public comment, going twice, going a third and final time. Again, thank you all for coming. You have the opportunity to continue to contact us, have your voices heard. We appreciate you coming here. We appreciate you coming together to express your concerns and your opinions as it relates to the Rail Explorers. Again, we're still here to listen. If you need anything else, contact myself. Your magistrate is, for the most part, John Gentry, but all of our magistrates are always open to listen as well. So you all are more than welcome to stay for our business, but you're also more than welcome to be excused. And in that same vein, we will recess for a brief period in time. Thank you all for being here.
Looks like a mother.
All right. We will reconvene in the Committee of the Whole for action of the Fiscal Court. I appreciate the court's indulgence. The first item of the Committee of the Whole is going to be the proposed second reading of Ordinance 2024-03, the amendments to the Administrative Code. I'd open up the floor for any discussion thereon. Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the second reading of same? Motion by Squire Carl. Second by Squire Taylor. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay.
Nay.
Let the record reflect that there are 2 nay votes. Mr. County Attorney, sir.
Yes, Judge. This would be a summary second reading of that ordinance, amending Woodford County Ordinance Chapter 36 Personnel by creating a new provision, Section 36.036, Cost of Living Adjustment for Elected Officials, and by amending provisions 36023 Introductory Period and 36.066 Vacation. Be it ordained by the Fiscal Court as follows. Under 36023, it shall now read, during the initial introductory period, a new employee, except for employees working 12 or 24-hour shifts, shall not take vacation time which has been earned or accrued. Then under 36.036, that is a new provision entirely, cost of living adjustment for elected officials. In part, it says that the Woodford County constitutional offices currently not covered by KRS 64.5275 salary schedule, and those offices specifically are coroner, county attorney, and magistrate, shall automatically receive the CPI adjustment each year of their term of office, retroactive to January 1st of that year, consistent with the CPI treatment accorded to those county constitutional offices covered by the statute. This may be declined, or a lesser amount may be accepted in any particular year by virtue of fiscal court action. The declination or reduced allotment shall only apply to that year's salary determination, and absent any such order, resolution, or motion, it shall automatically be budgeted and be made part of the annual salary determination for those office holders without action necessary by the fiscal court. And then under 36066 vacation, new subsection D, employees working 12 or 24-hour shifts will receive their vacation based on the following chart as indicated. This being a second reading, this ordinance is now final, although it does need to be published in summary form within 30 days.
Thank you, Mr. County Attorney.
Thank you, Judge.
The next item is the proposed second reading of the budget. I was talking to the clerk just now. We're going to take up that full second reading in the full fiscal court meeting. But I will entertain a motion to recommend the second reading of the budget.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gentry.
Second.
Second by Squire Taylor. Is there any discussion? Are there any questions about the final budget and the second reading? Seeing none, all those in favor of the second reading of the budget in the full fiscal court meeting, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Mr. County Attorney will have that second reading in court in our regular meeting. The next item is the fiscal court's FY 22-23 audit. I'd like to begin by saying that we just prepared the budget for our second reading in the full fiscal court, and I'd really like to again say thank you to everyone who worked so hard on that budget. And that budget makes a big investment in people and in areas of public interest that we all agree on. And I think it's a really great budget. But one of the reasons that we've had such good budgets, one of the reasons that we are so financially stable and strong as a county government is because of our financial practices. And our fiscal court audit for the fiscal year 22-23 is another clean audit. It's another example that not only are we doing things the right way, but we're getting great results as well. And when our internal audit committee meets regularly, and we prepare for the audit as much as anything else we do in county government to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward. And again, we have another clean audit showing the good work, and that starts with our treasurer, Melody Troggett, and it goes through our finance officer, Beverly Flagg, Teresa Tipton, our HR manager, Jordan Coyle, our court clerk, Emily Castle, and our interns, and everybody else who works on our budget and our finances. And one of the things that I can share too is that was during Becky's tenure as treasurer, Becky Wilson, and Becky has joined us again. But we all worked really hard together to make sure that not only are we doing right by the fiscal stewardship of taxpayer dollars, but we're doing it in a way that's a model for county government and how we procure, spend, and take care of taxpayer resources. So I'm really proud of our budget, and I'm really proud of our audit, and I think that the court should be as well. And it's in that motion, in that vein, I would accept a motion to accept the audit of the fiscal court for the year FY 22-23. Motion by Squire Carl.
Second.
Second by Squire Taylor. I'd open up the floor for any discussion. Seeing none, yes, Squire Carl, you
I
recognize.
just want to say thank you all. I realize how hard these audits are, and I appreciate everything you do because it does make a huge difference for all of us. You know, appreciate you.
Thank you, Squire Carl. Other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the audit, please vote and signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. That is the sum of the business to come before the Committee of the Whole. We will reconvene for our regular meeting in 11 minutes. Thank you, members of the court, for the indulgence on the public comment, and we will see you momentarily. We are adjourned.